Hi, everyone, and welcome to the WP Minute. I'm your host, Eric Karkovack. Today, our topic is education and how the WordPress Credits Program is connecting students with the open source community. My guest is Isotta Peira, who is the head of the WordPress Credits Program. Isotta, welcome to the WP Minute, and my apologies for any problems pronouncing your name.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thanks a lot for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor, and thanks a lot for making the time. And don't worry at all about mispronouncing my name. I would do the same with yours, I'm sure, and with many other words in English. So it's fine. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate your patience. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you work for Automatic. What do you do at Automatic?
Sure. I joined Automatic in 2022, and I've been a full-time sponsored contributor for the WordPress community since then. When I joined in 2022, well, it's literally 4 years ago. It was January 17, and I started contributing full-time to the community team. So supporting event organizers, or camps, meetups worldwide. And I've been doing so since then. Um, in 2023, 2024, in the community team, there were many conversations about coming up with new events formats to be able to reach new audiences. And we tested out with contributors and organizers around the world different type of events. And specifically, one event that turned out being a success was one or multiple days workshop for students at schools and campuses. And this was thanks to Anand and the community in India. They launched something that has become last year one of the official education programs for the community, the Campus Connect. And so in that context, we see as a team the importance and the opportunity on supporting more education, and so helping WordPress entering schools and colleges. And this is where my contributions shift a bit, and I was able to invest more time into education programs. And with a couple of our contributors, we designed and built WordPress Credits, this contribution-based program that we're now offering to colleges and schools around the world. So basically, the idea is, okay, help students gain WordPress skills, but also give them basically a playground for working, for training their skills by contributing to the contribution teams. This is the situation, like the little bit journey and where I'm right now.
Thank you for that. I know just in the WordPress community over the years, there's been a lot of talk about how do we get that next generation of users and developers into WordPress, because the WordCamp events have been wonderful. They're very welcoming, but at the same time, a lot of people outside of WordPress don't know about them, right? So this educational initiative seems to be a great way to reach younger folks who are looking to learn WordPress. What challenges have you faced, though, in trying to implement this so far?
Mm, there have been a few challenges on different fronts. Well, at first, this was something new. As far as I know, no other open source communities have tried to do something similar. So we had no playbook. There was no guidelines. So we tried and tested, and since it was completely new, so it was just me at the beginning and two contributors sponsored by Wiglot who had a few hours per week. So we first had built a program and a structure. Then we tested out with the first students from the University of Pisa in Italy, and we realized, okay, this doesn't work, this flows doesn't work, this needs to be changed. And so at first it was a lot of, okay, finding out the best way to operationalize it. And then the biggest challenge right now is creating the contact with the schools and institutions, because even though the WordPress community has started hosting more events on campuses, it's still hard to find, for example, the right person to talk to and the person who can eventually make the decision about what program to launch. But we're getting there. The support from the community is amazing, and there are plenty of professionals or volunteers in the community who are helping creating these contacts. And then what's a challenge that we are facing right now is making sure that we are ready to scale up the program and start receiving hundreds of students every quarter. Because since we launched it was June, then we started having the first pilot students in July and August. We were talking about like low numbers. So we might have 15 students from a school, 10 from another. But now we are getting ready to start welcoming hundreds of students at the time. So we really want to make sure that we don't create any confusion within the contribution teams. And also we ensure a mentorship flow, because we also want to assign mentors to the students. And we really want the process to be smooth for everyone involved, so students can really make the best of it. Surprisingly, there's one aspect that I had anticipated as a potential challenge, which turned out not to be so, is to explain schools like the value of the program and how impactful would be for their students to be part of the WordPress community. Even when talking to schools who have never worked on WordPress or like almost never heard about it, they can see what our environments could mean for students and help them develop transferable skills, helping them step out of comfort zone and already creating contact into a remote community like ours with companies, professionals, volunteers from everywhere. So this was a surprise.
I did want to ask about the different universities. How involved are they in the program? Are they mainly providing you, the facility to work in it and, to attract students? Or are they more, are they focused at all on the curriculum, or is that totally up to the contributors?
It depends from institutions. There are some institutions, they approve the program, they help us promote it on their channels, and our program is one of the like dozens of options that students have to enroll in a practice program. But there are other institutions that are investing more. This also usually depends on the how the institutions is organized. If they have more more bureaucracy around the program they offer and the type of involvement that they can have. But there are so far at least one institution in Latin America, one in Asia, and one in Europe who have decided to include WordPress credits as a mandatory part for one of the courses that they already have in place. So what we are doing right now is to train the teachers so they can become mentors for their students, with the long-term goal to enable them to run this program every year without having to depend on the availability of mentors from the community or administrators of the program. So literally, ideally, we would want to have every school participating in this, all the resources they need to keep feeding the community and their program mutually, and because this is going to be the best way to ensure that more students are included, that they also learn in the step they have to take. It's going to be even easier because it would be in their let's say safe space at school, and also their teachers with the first one connecting them to the community. Then this will also create a lot of opportunities for teachers to learn new skills, to also increase the level of the service that they give to the students. So at the end, this is the main direction in which we're going, and I'll be able to share more about the feedback that we get from students and schools in the upcoming months. Also, we just started onboarding the first college in the United States, and they're also interested in exploring the mentorship program for their teachers. So fingers crossed, we will be seeing teachers, professors, students, and hopefully we would see students becoming mentors for the new students joining the program the next years. We will see. I hope that I can come back in 6 months with nice results to share with you.
Well, that's wonderful. I think it's great that you also want the teachers involved so that it's not simply community based. You don't have to rely solely on volunteers to come in and teach WordPress. Now the professors, the teachers at each institution might be able to carry on that work that you've started here, so that you can kind of have this curriculum just going, from place to place. That's wonderful. For those of us that don't know a lot about the WordPress Credits Program, how does that work? Who is it for?
The WordPress Credits Program has been created for institutions. Originally, it was at college level, higher institutions, and now we're also opening up for high schools and younger students. And let me tell you about the flow. What is the journey? The interested institutions sign an agreement with the WordPress Foundation, where they basically commit to recognize the time spent on this program as either credits if they use a credit system, or just recognize it as a part of the curriculum. Then we start receiving students. We don't limit the participation to computer science or tech studies. We're open to any type of studies that can find a way to train their skills in our community. And once we have an agreement with the institution, we prepare onboarding windows for the students. Currently, the students usually are onboarded the first 2 weeks of each month, and we as students have to sign up on a form. We assign them to a mentor, and they receive instruction via email on how to create the WordPress profiles and how to start the first connection with the mentors. We have a platform for them created on learn.wordpress.org. So it looks like a course. They can, students who register, gain access to the course, and then they have a step-by-step program to fulfill. The program is meant to be 150 hours with the possibility to expand it. And students experience 3 phases. The first one is the onboarding part, where they learn about WordPress as a community, open source, and WordPress skills. And they get to create their personal website. So they will have a website on WordPress. We have sponsors who provide hosting and domain and plugins that they might want to use. And once they have published their website, they start learning about contribution. So they jump into the project phase, the biggest one, the second. They get to know everything about the contribution teams, how they work, where they meet, the tools they use. And these students will have to pick 1 or 2 contribution teams they want to contribute to, depending on how long it's going to be the program for them. And at this point, they will start connecting with the teams and working on their project. The mentor is there to guide them along the way. They will have weekly check-ins with the mentor, things, and then more conversation as things. But what we really want to achieve is for the students to also experience the real contribution journey in our community. So they are asked to participate to the contribution team meetings, to attend events in person if there are any, or online. We encourage them to create their own students club on campus, which is another of the program that we launched last year. And so depending on the students, 13, 18 weeks, they're supposed to keep working on the contributions. They will use their website to, of course, publish their content, personal interest or passion, but also they are required to publish once a week a recap of their contributions as a way to encourage them to post more and so get more familiar with WordPress itself, but also as a way to teach them how in a remote tech environment we usually work. So you own your project, nobody is micromanaging you, but still you are expected to share updates with the other stakeholders. And also these also provide the program administration a very easy way to see if students are progressing. And at the end of the program, they are asked to create a final presentation about their journey and their contribution, which they will upload on WordPress TV. And with a final post on their website, we can consider the program program completed. They will download a certificate of completion from the platform itself, from the a certificate from the WordPress Foundation, signed by Matt Mullenweg, and they will get WordPress Credits graduate badge on their WordPress profiles. So in addition to their contribution activity on their profiles, the school can also see like two additional proofs that they have successfully completed the program. And this is how their journey goes.
Well, I think that's wonderful. First of all, that it's not just computer science students, because I could see this being a very important thing for entrepreneurs too, right? Somebody who wants to start their own business, they have that WordPress experience all of a sudden, and that's something that can help them grow their business. If they're selling something online, they already know how to use WooCommerce, for example. That I could see that being a huge part of the future. And then you also have this other facet where people are going to learn how to contribute to an open source project, which most of us, people who have contributed, aren't necessarily trained in that in school, right? This is kind of just a life experience. We stumble upon something we want to contribute to, and we learn how to do that. So this program really seems to be great for people no matter which way they want to go with their careers.
This is the idea. And I'm glad that you brought up the entrepreneur topic, because also we offer this to the program to vocational schools. This is really the goal of all this work that we're doing, is to provide anyone with more opportunities to create their own path and learn while contributing to something meaningful. And you're absolutely correct about the importance of learning about open source and how contributing to like a volunteer community means like in early stages of life, because it's not just about the job that we're doing or the things that we get done, but it's all this high number of skills, of transferable skills that we gain and would be very, very useful and impactful, regardless the journey that we decide for ourselves. So I had this 300% clear when I was learning about the community itself. And I started thinking, oh, yes, this could be great for, I don't know, when I was at school. This would have been a great way to practice this. Oh, but also this other thing. And then you just find yourself in a way, in a world where there are people with different background, with different knowledges, coming together as volunteers to contribute to something which it is intended to create more opportunities for others is a pretty big learning point, I believe, for like us as humanity. So yeah, this is a powerful tool that we have beyond the software itself, and I'm glad that we are making advantage of it, and we're trying to connect even more with people, students, different category of professionals around it.
So I did want to talk a little bit about the mentorship aspect of this as well. So what qualifications do you need to be a mentor? Like if there's someone out there listening, they're interested in becoming a mentor, what do they need to do? What do they need to know in order to do that?
We are trying to make the mentorship process and the role of the mentor within this specific program as open as possible. I'll explain myself. At first, we started accepting, well, of course, there is a vetting process and an application process with a course to complete. And at first, we started receiving application only from experienced contributors on different teams. So people already very familiar with WordPress and the community with extensive experience on different contribution teams. Then when we started having discussion with institutions and see an opportunities for also teachers to be involved, we started shifting the mindset, and we started working to find a way to enable people who have non-experience with contribution to be able to guide students. And so we started thinking, okay, at the end, what do we need to ensure that then the students can navigate the community space? We need somebody feeling comfortable connecting them to the right people in the right channels, on the right blog. So even more than having direct experience with contribution, because most of us have experience on 1, 2, maybe 3 teams. It is hard to find somebody who has extensive experience across all teams. So we will always find ourselves mentoring students who are interested in a contribution area, which is not ours. And so we modified the program for mentors and the course to highlight more knowledge about what are the community spaces, where the team meet, how you can find the list of the team reps, how you can find the last meeting or the last dev chat hosted. So we changed completely the program, and now we are highly encouraging people who are involved with schools or with the community, regardless the level of experience, to apply as mentors. There is always a vetting process, so same that we do with event organizers or community leaders for any roles. The team is going to vet their online presence to ensure that their online presence is aligned to the community code of conduct, and so there are no red flags in this sense. And then after having approved them, they will receive an invitation to complete the mentor course. At the end of the mentor course, they would be finally onboarded in the mentor, in the mentor pools. And at this point, we host sessions like sync sessions for the mentors, so we can exchange feedback, opinion, ask a question. We have a private channel as well when we need to ask questions about our students or other information that we shouldn't be sharing publicly. And from that moment on, okay, we keep learning together because this is new for them, for us. So, but this is how we are envisioning it. Also, with the hope that by opening up to people who have not experienced yet, they would feel motivated and supported into also gain more experience on top of guiding students through one channel or another.
Yeah, I could see it being something that benefits the mentor just as much as the student, really. That experience, and I know the program is fairly new, but I could see the relationships going beyond just when the program ends, when their involvement in the program ends, that the student and mentor connect for over the years and maybe even work together at some point.
Hopefully, something that I always say to all the students I talk to is to mm, is to like care about these connections, this relationship, because first you never know. Mm, you might end up getting opportunities to join a company or to join a project because of the connection made in this context, or even if it's just as a human relationship kind, there is a lot that we learn all the time from each other, and how other people can help us get to our next level in our profession or in our learning journey. So we definitely hope that connection will be there beyond the program. And also we want to find initiatives for the students and the mentors to help them also go to the next steps. Right now, one of the ideas that we're discussing among mentors and the other people of the team is about offering students the chance to become mentors for the students who will come after them, or invite them to events. So, okay, you've completed the program. Come to the work camps, come to an event, and tell the people more about how it went. And also, the other way around. We encourage students to create students clubs on campus, and hopefully they can invite their mentors or other people from the community. And one other thing that we really want to go for this year is to connect even more students with the local meetups. We don't have meetups in every place. We have students, but everywhere we have meetups, we really want the students to become part of their activity and being able to like have each other on both sides.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we've had this discussion for years about how to get new people into WordPress, and I think this program just seems like it's a great fit for doing that. What do you see for 2026? Is there any? I know you said you had an institution in the United States that you're starting to work with. Uh, how much expansion do you see this year, and any other initiatives that you're working on for this year?
Yeah. Look, we had a bit of context to explain how now I'm getting to the the vision that I'm about to share. In last year, we were aiming to have at least 5 university or colleges partnering with the WordPress Foundation on this program, and having 2 committed to include the program as part of their curriculum. And at the end of December, we had already 8 institutions partnering with the program. Most of them would start the onboarding now in January, February, March. And 3 committed to include the program. So we now have myself and other people based on different regions working, like proactively working into getting contact with more institutions. So if for how we've organized our outreach efforts, let's say, we aim to end this year with at least 22 institutions onboarded with WordPress credits, and hopefully we would start seeing hundreds of students every quarter entering the program. This is the direction. But this is also why it is a lot of a thought that we have in our mind. It's really find a way to refine in the best ways possible the mentorship program and the onboarding flow of students in the contribution teams, because we don't want to overwhelm anybody. Yeah, so this is the direction. We really want to grow the program. The feedback we're getting from students is fantastic, and so there is no doubt that for them this program has a value. Some of the students are staying already in the space, the community space, and they keep going on contributions even if they've concluded the program. So we really want to invest on it, and we have to be very very thoughtful on the mentorship part and the onboarding in the contribution teams.
Well, it sounds like you're off to a wonderful start, so congratulations on that. Um, so where can people find more about these programs?
Of course. Let me send you the link for the WordPress.org education site. So in the page, you can find you can all find information on the 3 main programs we've launched, which are WordPress Credits, the Campus Connect, and Students Clubs. And then anytime on Slack, you can the WP Credits channel and the Campus Connect channels. So please invite everyone interested, students, if you want to learn more, want to know how to connect your institution with us, or contributors who want to be involved or just know more about the programs. I'd say the site and Slack are going to be the best places.
Wonderful. We'll definitely send people there in the show notes. And congratulations again on the launch of this program. I think it's going to be a key to keeping WordPress relevant over the long term. So getting more people involved, getting young people involved across the globe here, which is wonderful. Isotta, I want to thank you for being a part of the show. And I want to thank everybody for watching and listening today. You can visit us over at the WPMinute.com/subscribe. You can receive our newsletter and support the work that we do here at the WP Minute. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Eric, and everyone. Thanks for having me.